with opening comments from Jurgen, and then we'll take your questions.
Yeah, welcome to Columbus. Day before a big game. Obviously, it's an exciting moment. It's an exciting moment because we badly want to steer towards the World Cup. We want to qualify as quickly as possible. We know we have still some work to do, and playing Mexico is always special. I think we play your main rival in CONCACAF. Obviously, we all know about their situation. They know about our situation. So I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting for the fans, for everybody involved, the players stepping on the field, playing a game like that. High intense, lots at stake. You can't ask for more.
If you have questions, please raise your hand. We have wireless microphones. We'll start with Grant.
This is for Jurgen. If I'm correct, you've never lost to Mexico as a player or a coach. How do you explain this success you've had against Mexico for so long?
I can't explain that. No, it might be a coincidence. I hope it continues tomorrow night.
Doug.
Jurgen, you added 2 Mexican-based players this week. There's 5 total on the roster now. How much does it help having guys that are playing week in and week out against some of the guys in the Mexican team? Giving you success against Mexico in 3 games on the field.
I mean, they came in. They were on standby. I don't think it has to do with Mexico per se. Yes, it's good that they know those players even better. But they were, right there on the list. When something happens, yellow cards or injuries or whatever, these would have been the players anyway, even if we played Italy tomorrow night. But obviously, it's a good thing for us knowing that players from us play in Mexico in a very strong league, know those players, really well, and they're well prepared, to play eye to eye against them. It's definitely a plus.
Go over to Steve Goff.
Clint, do you see Mexico as a vulnerable team, given what they've been through, and as well as the coaching change?
I don't look at it like that. Mexico's a team that has quality in it, and we need to make sure that we prepare properly. Every game at home is a must-win game. You need to get those points at home if we have any hopes of qualifying for a World Cup, so we won't treat it any different than that. And like Jurgen said, hopefully we can get as many points as soon as possible to make sure that we make that happen. But we know it's going to be a difficult game.
Roger.
Jurgen, in your career, you've played some big derbies: Inter, AC, Tottenham, Arsenal. Germany are pretty well everybody's rivals in Europe. Where does this Mexico-US rivalry fit in with those you've experienced?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, living here now for 15 years and understanding more and more, this rivalry is a wonderful thing. In this rivalry, there's a lot of respect, for each other. If it's on the coaching side, if it's on the player side, if it's nation related. I think both countries, always drive for more. Both countries want to get better. Both countries want to be in the top 10 in the world. Both countries obviously, want to secure the World Cup in Brazil and then going there beyond the group stage at least. So ambition-wise, it's very similar to our case, and I think there's a lot of admiration in this rivalry for each other, and obviously a lot of emotions, and we're going to see those emotions tomorrow night on the field, So it's going to be very, very tense. It's going to be very aggressive. But at the end of the day, both teams have a lot of respect for each other.
We'll go Ron and then Phil. Hey, I'll go second one. Thanks.
For both Jurgen and Clint, given essentially that you have 3 chances to get the win that's likely needed to clinch, how important is it to get it done in this game rather than in games 9 and 10?
I mean, obviously you want to get points as soon as possible, but the most important thing is that we get to the World Cup. That's what our goal is. It doesn't matter how we do it, but yes, you don't want to be waiting to the last game and wanting other teams to do you a favor because you're not able to get the job done. So, you know, ideally, we'd like to get that wrapped up as soon as we can.
Yeah, obviously, you know, we gave up an opportunity in Costa Rica to get 3 points, and it made us upset. I think, you know, if we wouldn't have kind of missed those first 10 minutes, a little bit because also of the injury of Michael, you know, we didn't get right into the game, you know, it took us a bit longer. If it doesn't happen, this breakaway out of the blue in the 75th minute, I think we were close to score the equalizer and come home with a result, you know. And that hangs a little bit in your stomach, you know, because you do not want to wait for anything. You know, you want to do it in the next possible occasion, and this is now tomorrow night. You know, knowing what Mexico is going through, but we have to look at purely at our end, you know, and we gotta secure our points, you know, to make sure, you know, nobody's getting nervous here. So therefore, we want to make sure that from the first second on, you're spot on.
For both Jurgen and Clint, you touched on the absence of Michael, but could you talk a little bit about how that changes the dynamics of this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few players missing. We have Josie, we have Matt Beasler, and we have Michael missing. So when you have any player missing, it changes the dynamic. Depending on what formation you want to play, what players that you want to put in the game. I think there's a lot of players who play big roles in this team. Obviously, Michael does that for us. He's one of our leaders as well. He's a player that has a lot of quality and really links up the game for us. But we also have other players that need to step up to the plate and make sure that we can get the job done tomorrow. So yeah, it hurts losing some of our players that we have, but that's situations that all teams have to deal with through injuries and through suspensions, through yellow cards.
No, definitely, missing Michael is not easy because, you know, he developed into a real leader, one of our leaders, you know, with Clint, with Tim Howard, you know, with Jeremy Jones of this group. But we've been, you know, the last 2 years constantly through challenges, you know, with the roster, with the availability, with yellow cards. We always, you know, had to correct things. You know, now we have to correct, you know, Matt Beasler, Josie up front, who was in a tremendous shape, you know. Just unfortunate that he kind of came with that hamstring injury into Costa Rica. We'll find ways to balance it out. We'll find ways to make sure that the guys stepping on the field and also the guys sitting on the bench, they are giving everything they have. And I think we have enough quality in this entire group to make things happen tomorrow night.
We'll go Fernando, then Ivis in the back.
Jurgen Klinsmann, how are you? Here I am. I'd like to make a question to both of you. You was coach and you are coach right now, and you was player and you are a player. What means in the mentality a change of coach? Mexico don't play different because it's the same process, it's the same coaching staff. But what can they change of the mind of the players when they have a new boss on the bench?
I think for a player, anytime there's a new coach, players who are playing under the other coach, they're maybe not as comfortable because they know that, you know, changes come in and trying to fight for a spot. Also, players who weren't playing under the coach before see it as an opportunity to try to get into the team because maybe things were kind of set in a certain way. Who's to say? But Mexico will be a difficult game. They're a team that has a lot of quality. We're going to prepare for them. We're not going to take them lightly. But we need to focus on us and our game. So that's all I can say.
Well, I think, you know, you have always both examples of a coaching change. You know, sometimes it goes really well right away, and sometimes it will take time. So now we can't look on the inside of the Mexican team. You know, we don't know what they went through over the last couple of months internally. We have the highest respect for their coaches, if it's Chepo or if it's Fernando now. We'll see now how his players will adjust to it. There's always a period of adjustment to another boss, a new boss. But it's important to us that we look at ourselves and say, you know, we'll expect a very, very tough, difficult, intense game. We are ready for it. We're going to play our game to our strengths that we have, and we have a lot of strength in this team. And our goal is tomorrow night is 3 points.